This is CashColorCannabis High Level of Conversation at LiveHipHopDaily.tv. And this episode is sponsored by True Leaf. Whether you're new to the plant or a seasoned connoisseur, True Leaf has something for everyone. Click the link in the caption and find a store near you. All right, so tonight I didn't bring a guest in tonight because we had such an amazing time this weekend that I thought I'd just come through and let y'all know about the event we were able to be media sponsor of, and that's Elevated Food and Wine Fest. If you watched about 2 weeks ago, you know my girl Jess, a.k.a. Professor Cannabis, put on, she came through to talk about the event Elevated Food and Wine Fest, which was her second year. This was her second year doing that. And yeah, it was everything that we expected it to be. It really was a lit night. And let me tell you how dope it was. I remember, all right, so I was there around 12:30ish. You know, I'd be there set up because, I'm going to talk about that in a second. But again, Jess, the amazing hospitality. So I was there at 12:30 to get set up everything for Cash Color Cannabis, get the magazine set up and everything. And I realized how long I was there. I was there all the way up until about 7 o'clock. They shut down at 9 o'clock. But there were people who were there with us from about 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock when I left who didn't budge. That's signs of a good event, especially when you talk about anything that resembles a pop-up. Because I've been to plenty of pop-ups before where people go get what they want and go home. Like, nobody, kicks it for no time being, man. But they definitely stood around, which means you was having a really great event. And to make a great event, you got to make sure you have the right elements for the event. And that's one thing that Jess did an amazing job of, was putting together the right elements. She had the food trucks outside, from the barbecue joint to the hibachi. Shout out to Queen and Slim for that dope hibachi. And also my girl Sandy with Hemp Box. I got some chicken and waffles out there. My waffle had the weed stamp in it. That was super dope too, man. Yeah, I just had a blast, man. Elevated Food and Wine Fest really was that vibe, man. So I appreciate her for letting us be a media sponsor for that night, and I appreciate her letting us just take part. Joe, you was there, man. You had fun? I was shocked Joe stayed that long. I told Joe straight up, all right, bro. I told Joe straight up, I said, I really only need you about an hour, man. You can kick it.
I was about to go every time.
My man came dressed like he was going to a job interview too. Like, I've never seen Joe that dressed up ever in my life. I don't know. You said you was coming from doing sales pitches?
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. Doing sales pitches on a Saturday is what an entrepreneur needs to do. You know what I mean? So you definitely did your thing. But yeah, so you was there. You saw how dope the event was. It really was. She really did put together a good event, man. And I want to shout out some of the vendors, especially some of the sponsors, like Fine Fiddle. Fine Fiddle was one of the sponsors. I was one of the sponsors as well. Shout out to Hood Unicorn, Best Dirty Lemonade. Oh, matter of fact, Hood Unicorn. Unicorn, that was the first time I had a chance to see you actually host an event. Yo, she is fucking funny, man. She's fucking funny. When she was on stage at the Boston Cheese, shout out to Cheese, man. Mad opinion, what up, though? After Cheese did his performance and she got up there talking about how she can't twerk because she said she got scoliosis or something like that, and they taught her how to dance. Yo, I was crying. Unicorn is funny as hell in real life, man. That was really a cool thing to do, man. But like I say, I want to shout out some of the vendors as well. Shout out to Caviar Club. If y'all know about Caviar Club, they was voted the number one cannabis brand, number one smoke product in the cities. Shout out to Smoke Battle for that. Caviar is nice though. Like, if you ever had a chance to shop with my man down at Caviar Club definitely has some good product. I'll say that much, man. Also, shout out to Greyhound Scound. Scound put me on to something. I remember he passed me something, and I was lit for. Well, first off, I was lit anyway because the type of event that we was at. It was just so much in the air. Remember, I had to keep going outside because I need to get air. Like, I cannot. This can't be me all day. You know what I'm saying? I can't be zoned out all day, man. But shout out to Scone. Georgia Medical Cannabis Society was in the building, of course, educating people and letting people know about what's going on with the medical program here in Georgia. Speaking of, I get to go pick up my medical card on Friday. I look forward to that. Yeah, I signed up for. I had to. I ain't gonna say I didn't. Well, I am gonna say I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't want to primarily because of the products they have. I don't necessarily consume, but I also know we also got to make sure we get more people signed up in order to get more, in order for more to happen in the state. You know what I'm saying? You definitely need more people on the registry who signed up for a medical card. So I got my medical card. I'm gonna go pick it up Thursday. It wasn't that long of a process either. I think I told y'all about this. It was more about the beginning of the process because shout out to Atlanta. We can figure out an economy out of anything. The medical card economy, I heard so many different prices of how much it costs for somebody to qualify for me for one. Yeah, it went from what I paid, which was $199, because that was the lowest, to I think the highest was about $500, a little bit more than that. Yeah, and then you got to pay $25 for the card. So it's not like you get the card after that. It's not like you get the card after that. The most they do is qualify you, and I'm not saying it's a nothing job, but the most they do is qualify you. The $25, I forgot all about that until they called me and said, "Hey, your card is here. You can come pick it up at blah 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 on the second floor." And I was like, "Cool." And she said, "Yeah, just come bring your ID and bring $25." And I was looking like I just gave y'all. I swear I just paid $200 to somebody. I swear I just paid $200 to somebody to do something, and I still got paid $25. But I'm gonna go pick that up on Friday, and I'm gonna be good to go. Matter of fact, I'm easily gonna stop by a True Leaf store and go pick up some product because there's a couple of things I would need. I try to, especially with the low THC oil. I want to see what they have first. I really like a good bomb. You know what I mean? I know my shoulder issues and stuff like that. Like, I need that. So I'm going to go see what they got up in store, man. But I digress. Shout out to Georgia Medical Cannabis Society again, like I say, out here educating people. And it was just a dope event overall. There were so many other vendors. If I missed your name, I'm sorry about that. But there was so many amazing vendors that it was just crazy. Oh, shout out to Lifted Lemonade, who was sitting right next to me. Also shout out to Best Dirty Lemonade. But shout out to Lifted Lemonade. Yo, y'all were the coolest people to sit next to. If you ever done a pop-up before, you know it's really key to have good location for where you at. But also it's cool to make sure you're next to somebody who's least like cool. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I've been at a pop-up, I make sure that whenever I'm setting my table up, I scope the room. And do I want to stand next to these people for about 7 hours? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to be next to these people for X amount of hours? And Lifted Lemonade, I definitely wanted to. Matter of fact, I bought one of their blue drinks, and I still got that in the refrigerator because that really got me going. Yeah, that's what put me down for a minute. It was the drink, and then of course I hit a blunt for a second. I didn't even finish it. You know what I mean? Because now I'm definitely a microdoser nowadays. So I hit it a couple times. But I knew at that point I didn't need to have no edible food because I remember we was going out to go eat, and one of the options was fused or infused. I was like, absolutely not infused. Absolutely not infused. Because I'm not at my house, and if I was at my house, yeah, because I could be on this couch, I could be doing a lot of stuff, but I got to be up and about, I got to be active, and I can't be doing none of that stuff, man. So he definitely has some dope vendors, but he also had really good experience as well from the winemaking to the charcuterie board. Yo, Joe killed this charcuterie board. Hopefully I said that correctly. I think everybody pronounces it differently. I just know Joe ate a board. I just know that for an absolute fact. That's how long this man was in this place. Every time I turned around, every time I thought he was gone, he was still here. And I was like, what are you doing now? He's like, man, eating. He was grubbing on that, man. So there was definitely a lot for people to do. And I feel like that's one thing you could take away from that event, if you want to take away anything, is if you're curating an event, especially something in cannabis, the way she laid out hers, and I'm not saying go steal or go copy somebody else's blueprint, but the way she laid out hers was perfect because there was so much variety in there. Like, one of my biggest turnouts by going to pop-ups is I feel like everything is the same. You know, like you're walking down aisle after aisle after aisle of a bunch of people having, flower, which is cool. But I'm like, is there anything else? Is there anything else happening in this space that's going to keep me here? And she definitely did that. There was definitely some amazing experiences that she brought to the crowd. And the crowd itself was lit. You know what I mean? Like, just watching, especially knowing what the weather was like here in Atlanta. It was pouring rain for in and out most of the day. Everybody was still dry because she had it inside. It's also a smart move because I know last year they had it at Zalana, and that's an outdoor space primarily. So yeah, she definitely ducked a bullet with that one by making sure it was inside and outside. And definitely shout out to Atlantucky for being such a welcoming space. Like Atlantucky, if you've never been there before, definitely stop by. Black-owned brewery. They have a bar set up upstairs. They have one downstairs as well. But go in there and go get a drink and go kick it with them, man. They definitely know what they're doing. It's an amazing space. I mean, I don't know what more to say about it. I had a blast. Like, I really did. So give Jess all the flowers for putting together an amazing event. And I'd love to see where she goes with it next. I know she brought it already to another city. They brought it out to New Jersey. I forget what city they was in, but I know she brought it out to New Jersey. Let's see where you bring this out next, because you definitely found a niche. You definitely found a vibe there, man. Herb didn't even come. We missed Herb, didn't he? Did you come down? I mean, you was supposed to be there at 3 o'clock. Like, it was like 7 o'clock. Oh, I thought you was gonna be finished by. I thought you was gonna be finished being at 3, because I know they was coming up. Damn, how many episodes? Yeah, I'm tripping. How many episodes they filmed? I thought they was just doing one episode. Like they did a lot. They did a couple.
Nah, that's 2. We started at 3, and I said we'll be finished at 6. That means they got 2 hours, but you know how people are. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go. 3 is the longest I'm gonna be here.
So that's a long, man. Shout out to her. that's a long production on a Saturday. But yeah, it was dope, man. Yeah, by the time I left at 7, and I grabbed the cord. I know, but Joe was still there.
Oh yeah, I was.
Joe didn't budge, bro. Joe was definitely Joe was that dude in the bar. Like you couldn't get him out the building. Like Joe was there.
It was a good network. She had good people in it too.
It really was. Yeah, like I say, you can't express this enough. She put together a really, really, really dope event. So shout out to Jess. Shout out, like I say, shout out to all the amazing vendors that came out, and shout out to all the amazing experiences she curated that night. I have nothing but it's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Great job, man. Great job. So that's really what I wanted to come on and tell y'all about how great Elevated Food and Wine Fest was. Also, to stay tuned for the next couple episodes of the podcast. I ain't going to tell you who the guests are, but I definitely got some dope guests coming down the pipeline. And the next issue of Cash Color Cannabis magazine will be dropping in another week. My man Jesse Horton is the cover story, and we got a lot more dope stories for you. So stay tuned. Cash Color Cannabis, we're always going to bring you a high level of conversation. We out.